Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of AdMail. This is Adam Bergman, founder and CEO of IRA Financial. I'm here to help you find the answers to the most frequently asked questions from my clients about self-directed retirement accounts. If you want to learn more, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Just search IRA Financial. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of AdMail. I'm Adam Bergman, tax attorney, founder of IRA Financial. On today's podcast, I'm going to be tackling three superb, very interesting questions. One involving how to take required minimum distributions from a self-directed IRA LLC. Number two, creditor protection on a self-directed IRA real estate investment. And then thirdly, how to roll over assets into a self-directed IRA. And will that trigger a tax? So really excited for today's episode. I think you guys will really enjoy it. So buckle up, and without further ado, let's get started. First question from YouTube. Hi, I'm 75 years old, and this is my first year with a self-directed IRA LLC. How do I take RMDs? Can I take it from the LLC? So great question. I've done a bunch of blogs and videos on this topic. Super common. What's an RMD? It's required minimum distribution. If you have a pre-tax IRA and you're over 73 years old, you have to take a percentage into income each year. We'll help you do that calculation, so do not worry about it if you're a client of IRA Financial. But how do you get that money out? So it's very easy. If you just have a regular old self-directed IRA, you just request the RMD from us. We will send the money to you as a distribution, and then we will 1099-R, send that to the IRS, copy to you, so you can report that on your tax return. If you have an IRA LLC, how do you do it? Well, you can't take the money to the LLC, right? Because it generally has to go from the LLC all the way up to the owner, the IRA. And then from the IRA, we will handle the distribution, send the money to you personally, and then issue the 1099-R. So the money needs to go up from the LLC to the IRA. You can fill out a deposit form, just pick partial liquidation, and the money will come up to us, and then we will code everything else. Do not take it out of the LLC. If you do, let us know. We'll fix it and paper it the right way, but it's the proper and correct procedure is to have the money go from the LLC to the IRA, go on our app, complete a deposit form, and then we'll take care of all the reporting. So really good question. A lot of people get confused and they think they can just take it from the LLC since it's owned by the IRA, but it's really not the right way of doing it. Second question is from Gary T. of Little Rock, Arkansas. Gary wants to know, I'm very concerned about creditor protection. If I'm contemplating buying multiple real estate assets, should I set up separate LLCs for each property? Great question, Gary. Get this question a lot. Listen, in a perfect world, if cost is no factor, then yeah, I think you want to isolate each asset that your IRA owns into a separate LLC. Why? Well, an LLC is a limited liability company, and essentially the assets outside of that LLC are protected from creditors. In most states like Florida really don't offer a lot of great creditor protection for single member LLCs, but most states do. So if you had an IRA that owned an LLC with 3 properties in it, and God forbid something happened terribly wrong in one of those properties, and you did not have enough assets or insurance to cover that liability, a creditor can go get all the assets inside the LLC, which includes the other real estate projects or properties. Whereas if you isolated each LLC, each asset into a separate LLC, then let's say something horribly goes wrong in LLC 1 that has real estate project number 1, maybe you just let that go bankrupt, and then asset 2 and asset 3 are protected. That's what most smart real estate investors do. You've probably heard of WeWork, the office sharing company. They're contemplating bankruptcy, but they have every asset, every property, every lease in a separate entity. So in most cases, they're going to be fine. They can go bankrupt on the ones they want. And that's what they did during COVID. You have just a lot more protection because that LLC is respected as a separate entity. And if something goes wrong in that entity, you can just let that fail. But your other assets in separate LLCs are protected. Whereas if you commingled all that assets in one LLC, then you could have a breach of liability, and that could spread to other the non-SIC assets could be infected by the liability. So good question, Gary. Listen, sometimes money is an issue. The state fees are not drastically high. They're anywhere from like $50 to a few $100. So it's generally, assuming you're doing real estate in a state that, Missouri is, $50, or Florida is like $150. It's not expensive to set up multiple entities, considering how much protection you're getting. I get it. Some people just don't want to spend the money, and that's fine. Third and final question of today's podcast is from Isabel K. of Clovis, California. And Isabel wants to know, I'm thinking about setting up a self-directed IRA with your company. Well, good, smart move. I have $185,000 in a rollover IRA with Vanguard. Do I need to sell all the stocks to do the rollover, and will it cause me any tax? So generally, to fund a self-directed IRA, you're going to want to be in cash. Why? Because we're not a broker dealer. We don't take stocks. So if you're going to just keep buying stocks, just stay at Vanguard for now. We don't sell mutual funds or ETFs or securities at this point. So you got to stay where you're at. But if you want to take some of that cash and do real estate or gold or cryptos or hard money loans or investment funds, private placements, you're going to need to be in cash, because you're not going to be able to buy gold with stocks. You're not going to invest in a business with stock. So you got to go to cash. Now, Isabel, you don't need to roll over all 185. Let's say you just want to take 75 for your fractional real estate investment, or to buy gold or to buy cryptos. Then just sell the 75,000 worth of stock and move that cash over to IRA Financial. Now, since everything's in the IRA world, Isabel, it's all tax-free. All right, so if you sell the stock at Vanguard, it's tax-free. Why? Because the IRA owns it, not you personally. You don't have to worry about triggering tax. You can buy and sell stocks a million times. You're not going to have tax in your IRA. So you don't have that potential tax consequence that you would if you owned the stock personally. So there's no tax ramifications. Move over whatever you need, but move it over in cash. You can do multiple transfers in a year. Say you start with 75, 6 months later, you're like, nah, I want to buy another $25,000. Maybe I'll do silver or gold coins. Sell more stock at Vanguard, no tax. Just do a transfer over, and you're good to go. So that's it. Great question, Isabel. Thanks, Gary. Thank you, individual on YouTube. Really great questions. If you are interested, you have a question, it's kind of bugging you, can't find an answer online, you want to pay $10,000 to an attorney to get your answer, send it in. There's no cost. Info@IRA Financial is the email. You can hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Of course, great YouTube channel. You can leave a comment to this podcast, to any video. We also drop podcasts and videos on our YouTube channel, as well as a YouTube live that generally goes live every 2 weeks, generally a Wednesday or Thursday. So check out that. If you subscribe, you'll get notifications. But otherwise, I'm here to help. That's my passion. Love educating people on this very, very niche solution to boost your retirement savings. It's not as niche as it used to be. It's becoming more mainstream, but it's a lot of fun, and it's what I love to do. So please send in the questions. You don't even need to be a client of IRA Financial. I will take care of you and hook you up with an answer. Otherwise, have a great day. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see everyone again next week. Ciao.